Today I have my 2014 Honda Civic Si, which I just bought, so if you have any video requests, just let me know and I'll try and make them for you. But today I'll be doing a full in-depth tour of the car, and the exterior color is known as Orange Fire Pearl. And walking up to the vehicle, all you need to do is have Honda's new smart key in your pocket, and approach either the driver's or passenger door, and place your hand behind the handle, and it will unlock. And to start up the car, you just put your left foot on the clutch and press the red engine start-stop button. And the car starts right up. So we'll go take a look at the outside of the car. And that beep just lets you know that the smart key has left the vehicle while it's still on. And coming around to the front of the 2014 Si, looks like pretty much any other Honda Civic sedan, except you do get the red SI badge on the honeycomb grille. And then coming along to the headlight cluster, they are all halogen bulbs, and this center light is your daytime running light as well as your high beams. This is your low beam, and then your turn signal bulbs. And for 2014, the Civic Si gets round fog light bulbs. Before they were in oval shape. And coming around to the side of the car, you have these 18-inch wheels. And they actually kind of look like the 18-inch wheels that are now on the 2015 Volkswagen GTI. They're pretty similar design. And it runs on Continental Conti Pro Contact tires, which are all seasons. But there is a $200 option to get summer tires. And on both rear doors, you do have your iVTEC dual overhead cam sticker. And to open up the fuel door on this car, you have to go inside and push down on this little handle, and that releases the fuel door. And Honda does recommend premium fuel for this vehicle, so 91 octane or higher, and it does include a holder for your fuel cap. And coming around to the rear of the vehicle, you do have a trunk spoiler for the Si, as well as the Si badging, but the tail lights are the same as a normal Civic. And the third brake light is integrated into the spoiler. And the Civic Si also gets a much larger exhaust outlet, as well as the honeycomb rear diffuser. And what I like about this car is that the turn signal bulbs in the rear are amber instead of red, so it gives you much more visibility to other drivers. And this car also features the optional mud flaps. And coming around to the passenger side view mirror, you have Honda Lane Watch. So we have this camera mounted underneath the mirror, and once we get inside, I'll show you what it does. And all 2014 Civic Si's do feature a sunroof as standard equipment. Now we'll take a quick look under the hood. Then to pop the hood, it's just this little handle right here. Lift it up. And the latch is right above the Honda H. And then the 9th generation Civic Si, it went from a 2-liter to a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder featuring iVTEC and dual overhead cams. And this one features 205 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque. So you get more torque than before, but the red line on this engine is lower than before by about 1,000. So it's not quite as fun as the previous generation SIs, but you do get more usable power, which is nice. And the new thing with the 9th generation and 8th generation Honda Civics are the wiper arms. They kind of go out just like they did on the Chrysler Town and Country minivans. It's not my favorite wiper design, but they get the job done. And this morning I did coat this vehicle with Sequart ceramic coating. So hopefully it should keep the car protected for 2 years before I need to apply anything to it. And coming to the inside of the vehicle on the driver's door panel, you do have 4 automatic windows. However, only the driver's is express up and down. You have your power locks and child safety locks. And then to control your power mirrors, go left or right, and then use the directional arrows to adjust it how you need it. And in the SI, we get a traction control off button, where in any other Civic it would be the economy button. And the left side mirror, I don't know if you could see, but there's a line towards the left side, and everything to the left of that line is wide angle to help you eliminate your blind spot. And the SIs feature premium audio compared to the other Civics. So this has a 6-speaker plus 1 subwoofer sound system for 360 watts, which I believe is double that of a normal Civic. And the steering wheel is also the same as any other Civic, however it features the SI badge, and this is leather wrapped. And then coming to your gauge cluster up top, you have your IV tech gauge on the end, and to the right of the C there's going to be a red dot that illuminates when it switches over to the high RPM overhead cams. And then below the white line are going to be 6 dots, and as the dots light up, the closer you are to red line. And once you get to 5 dots, that's maximum power for the vehicle, so you want to shift by the 6th dot. And the rest of the gauge cluster is pretty similar to any other Civic, however it's red, and in normal Civics it's blue, and it changes to green as you're driving more efficiently, but in the SI it's red all the time. And you have your digital fuel gauge to the right of your speedometer. And to the right you have your iMid screen, and this basically shows your odometer, your outside temperature, your clock. And using the buttons on the steering wheel, you could adjust the menus to average fuel economy or range. And this is also an instantaneous fuel economy meter, a power monitor. So basically the more you press the gas, the higher it goes. It's not that useful. And this is SI exclusive, this screen. On this screen you could upload your own wallpaper, clock, and this one shows your radio information. And you change those screens by pressing this information button on the top left of the steering wheel. And then using this, up and down controls your volume, source controls AM or FM, or satellite if you have navigation in your car. And then left and right scrolls through your presets. And pressing the menu button, you get a whole new screen on your iMid. And this is where you change your vehicle settings. So in vehicle information, you get your maintenance info, and it's your oil life monitor. And once it gets down to about 15%, a wrench will come on, and that means you want to take it in for an oil change. And under customized settings, your TPMS calibration. Basically, once you adjust your tire pressures, you want to hit this, and that way it knows that your tire pressures are set correctly. Because this doesn't monitor the pressure in each wheel, it basically monitors the size of each tire. So if one has more or less air, it's going to throw the light, thinking that has more or less air in it. Display setup. You change your welcome screen. Right now mine just says Honda Link when I turn on the car. And trip meter item to display. That's what I showed you on the iMid earlier, where I had my average fuel economy. I can also change that to my range, elapsed time for the trip, and my average speed. Color theme. I like it red. It matches the rest of the gauges in the car, but you can change to blue, amber, or gray. Keyless start. Guidance screens, basically when you get in the car, this one says depress clutch plus press engine start stop to start the car. Turn by turn display, I'm not quite sure what that is. And you have your language selection, English, French, or Spanish. And under trip computer setup, you could just reset your trip A or B, or change miles to kilometers. And you can also change between trip A and trip B by pressing this stalk right here next to the tachometer. And this stalk here changes miles per hour to kilometers per hour on your speedometer. Keyless access setup, if your car beeps when you unlock it or not. And door unlock mode, if you want to unlock just the driver's door or all four doors. And even if you have it set to just driver's door, it will do all four doors if you use the handle on the passenger side of the car. Lighting setup, you have your headlight auto off timer, so basically when you turn off the car, how long you want your headlights to stay on for. Interior light dimming time, if you keep your door open, how long the lights are going to stay on. And auto light sensitivity, so if you have your headlights in the auto position, it's just how soon you want them to come on. And door setup, with this one I have my doors automatically locked with vehicle speed. If you have a Civic with an automatic transmission, you could probably have them locked when you put the car into drive. And then since, again, this one's a manual for auto unlock, you can have all the doors unlocked when I open up my driver's door or when I turn off the vehicle. But again, if you have an automatic Civic, you could probably have them all unlocked once you put it into park. And security relock timer, this basically if you unlock the vehicle but don't open up any of the doors, the car will automatically relock after a preset time. That's basically all the menus in the iMid screen. And coming around to the right side of the steering wheel, you have your cruise controls. Hitting cruise turns it on, but once you turn off the car, it doesn't remember that you had it on. You have to press it again each time you get into the car. To set your speed, you just press down, and then if you hit the brakes or push in the clutch and you want to resume your set speed, just press up. And if you want to adjust your speed in increments of 1, either up or down, you just press up or down respectively. And then you have your wiper control stalk. Basically, the further you push it down, the faster they go. Or if you push up once, they'll swipe once, and if you pull towards you, it'll spray windshield washer fluid. And then this ring adjusts how quickly they turn on when they're in intermittent mode. And coming to the left, you have your turn signal stalk and your headlight controls. Just like any other car, up is your right turn signal, down is your left. And you have your automatic headlight controls, off, parking lights, automatic, or manually on. And this turns your fog lights off or on. And they can only be on when your headlights are on. And on the end of the stalk, you have this button, and that enables lane watch if you don't have your right turn signal on. Lane watch always comes on with your right turn signal, but if you want it on for another reason, you just simply press this and lane watch turns on. And this is the camera that I was talking about on the right side passenger mirror, and basically it just shows you your blind spot, or if you need to get really close to something on the right side of your car, you can see how close you could get. And then you have your hazard button and your manual air conditioning controls, fan speed, and then your temperature, basically cold or hot. And then coming below, you have an HDMI port where you could connect an Apple device and use the Honda Link apps, a USB port, and a normal 12-volt power outlet. And then coming up above, you have the new touchscreen for 2014. And this basically controls everything in the car except for your air conditioning. So pressing the home button brings you to your main menu. The link and connect, that's basically only if you have the Apple product phone. And you can use the different apps that are included with it, but I don't have a compatible phone. Under settings, you have your whole menu. So for camera, rear camera, if you want your guidance lines on or off, and your dynamic guideline, I'll show you what that is. If you put the car into reverse, this is basically your guidance, and then this is the dynamic guidance when you turn the steering wheel. It turns with it. Info allows you to adjust your wallpaper and your clock. Bluetooth menu allows you to pair a phone, and the device list allows you to select which device you want selected based on who's the driver. The audio menu allows you to adjust your bass, your treble, fader, balance, subwoofer, and speed, volume, compensation. Basically, the volume will go up by itself the faster you go. And in the phone menu, you could connect a Bluetooth device. Under audio, it allows you to tune or seek. And then pressing this little tab here brings up your preset list. And then you can just scroll up and down, kind of like a tablet. And here's your volume control, basically plus or minus or mute. And after you hit plus or minus, you can then swipe in that direction to adjust the volume. You have your CD slot right above, and pressing this allows you to dim the screen for day, night, or you could completely turn it off. And then coming below, you have your 6-speed manual transmission with aluminum shift knob and it's leather wrapped. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. As you can see, the gears are pretty close together. And it's a pretty short throw. It's not the shortest I've seen in a car, but it's also definitely on the short side compared to others. Reverse is all the way to the right and down. Have your manual e-brake. And in your center console, you have a USB port. And it's pretty small, it's about a fist deep. And then coming around to the passenger side, you have your glove box. And I have my owner's manual in there, and it takes up maybe about a third of the space. And then up above, you have your power sunroof with shade. And to control the sunroof, you either tilt it by pressing up, and then to shut it, you just push forward. And to open it all the way back, you just press back, and there it goes. And same thing to close it, just press forward, and it closes all by itself. And then this controls your lights if you want them to come on when the doors open, or off, but you can't have them all on at once just by using the switch. You actually have to press each individual light. And in the visors, the mirrors, they don't have any vanity lights, it's just a mirror. And we'll check out the back of the vehicle. And in the back of the vehicle, there's pretty decent space. I'm about 6 feet tall, and this is how much space I have when I'm in my seating position. And only on the passenger seat we have a backseat pocket. But each one does have storage space on the side, as well as power windows. And there's no air conditioning vents back here, but it's a pretty small car, so that's okay. And then coming out of the center seat, you do have an armrest and 2 cup holders. And then coming around to the trunk, even if it's locked, this smart key will still know that you're here and will allow you to open it. And I have the optional cargo mat. And both seats do fold down the rear simply by pulling this tab. And underneath, you have your spare tires and toolkit. Now, say if you have your smart key and you accidentally leave it in the trunk and you shut the trunk, the car will beep and open up the trunk by itself to let you know, which is a pretty cool feature. I haven't seen that before in a car. So overall, that's my in-depth tour of my 2014 Honda Civic Si. And if you have any more questions, just let me know and I'll try and make another video for you. And one more cool feature is Honda. I have my front license plate mount on the car, and you can't even tell because how they have it mount is it mounts underneath the front bumper. So possibly you can see the 4 holes underneath, but to a normal person, they'd never know that was even mounted. So that's pretty cool of Honda, that you have it on and take it off at any time and not have holes in your front bumper. So once again, if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll try and answer them for you or make another video.